Life insurance. No one likes to talk about life insurance. Heck, even life insurance agents like me don't like to talk about life insurance. But folks, life insurance is very, very, very important. And because so many people don't like to talk about life insurance, they also don't want to buy it. They would rather just let their family deal with it after they're gone because, after all, they're dead. But, folks, let me tell you, unless you have a big fat bank account that's specifically set aside for your funeral and funeral expenses, if you do not have a life insurance policy on yourself, you are being selfish. That's right, I said it. You are being selfish.
Today's episode of Reset to Reinvent podcast is brought to you by the Adams Group Agency, developing final expense leaders.
Hello, and welcome to episode 24 of Reset to Reinvent podcast. I am your host, Helen Blocker Adams, and I want to let you know that today is September 1, and it is the beginning of National Life Insurance Awareness Month. Yes, the entire month of September, you're probably going to see in social media so many different things and messages and messaging from different organizations, from different insurance companies, from insurance agents about life insurance, the importance of life insurance. And I just want to let you know that this episode today is all about life insurance. I want to let you know how important it is. Your legacy is in your life insurance. Your legacy is in your life insurance policy. And when we talk over the next few minutes about insurance and different types of insurance and the importance of life insurance. Hopefully, prayerfully, those of you who are sitting on the sideline and being selfish, yep, that's right. I did say it. I have seen too many families that I've sat down and talked about life insurance. They requested the information, talk about the possibilities and different pricing and so forth. And I've had people, in particular, more so men, that will just say, "Oh, no, I'm good. I don't need any insurance," knowing that they don't have any life insurance and they're not thinking about what their family's going to have to deal with when they do pass. A lot of times people say, "Well, if you pass away." No, when you pass away, there is going to be a need for money to be able to bury you, or if you want to be cremated, there is still a cost. So we're going to talk about some of those things today. But before we get started, I do want to let you know and remind you of our masterclass is coming up. Okay. So, matter of fact, it's a week from today in the evening, 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Send me an email to reset to reinvent at gmail.com if you are interested in joining this and being a part of this first ever masterclass. It's called Fall Hard, Rise Harder. And this, let me just tell you what this course is about. Is designed for individuals seeking to overcome setbacks and emerge stronger than ever through a blend of personal stories, some of my personal stories, practical strategies that you can implement right then, and interactive exercises. Yes, it will be engaging. You will have to do some work so that we can help you get past whatever it is that you have fallen from. Harness the power of failure, because a lot of people think that, oh no, it's bad to fail. No, we learn from our failure. Also, you develop a closer relationship with God when you fail too, because after a while, because there's some of us is out there just act like we can just do it all by ourselves. We can just do everything by ourselves, and that we don't need anybody and we don't need God. And oh, that's a bad place to be. Okay. So those failures will make you realize, okay, you know what, there is a God, because God got me out of this mess. Okay. I know he got me out of a whole lot of messes. Let me tell you what else that you can expect in this master class. We want you to be able to cultivate a mindset geared toward growth. This is going to be a great class. It's $99. I promise it's going to be the best investment you can ever make. And I promise you will not be disappointed. And I tell you what, you know what? I feel so good about what we're doing with this particular class. I feel so good that if it doesn't meet your expectations, I'll give you your money back. Okay, I will give you your money back if it doesn't meet and or exceed your expectations. And I feel bold enough to say that because I know the type of person I am. I know I'm going to give it my all and give you more than what you expected. So the registration is going on now. We only have a few slots available. Fall Hard, Rise Harder Masterclass. It's a 4-week online course. You'll get all of the information. There's even a free ebook that goes with this course. It's just going to be good, guys. Okay. I want you to be a part of it. And it starts on Monday, the 8th of September. Our Fall Hard, Rise Harder Masterclass. To get the registration link on Eventbrite, send me an email at reset2reinvent@gmail.com. Okay. So now that I got that commercial out of the way, let's talk about the fact that today is September 1st, National Life Insurance Awareness Month. My goodness. This is my October. October 8th is going to be my 11th year as a life insurance agent. My 11th year as a life insurance agent. And it was a gentleman named Dr. Lewis D. Burns Jr. out of Columbia, South Carolina, that met with me over lunch at PF Chang's here in Augusta, Georgia. And it was in January of 2014. And I'll never forget it. And I'd never been at that particular time ever approached by anybody about becoming a life insurance agent. And it was a mutual colleague that brought us together. And it was really a very exciting conversation and very compelling. I didn't get on board right away because I was running for mayor of Augusta at the time. But later on that year, I did get licensed and appointed, and that was in October 8th of 2014. So I'm getting ready to experience my 11th year anniversary, if God says so, for me to live to October 8th. Because speaking of living, with September being National Life Insurance Awareness Month, and if you ask any insurance agent, they can, unless they just recently got into the industry, for those of us who have been around for a while, we've actually had some people say to us, well, I'm not going to die. Okay, really? That is what some people have said. Okay. So Life Insurance Awareness Month is observed in September every year. And I'm not quite sure when it actually started, but it is designed to educate consumers about the importance of life insurance for financial security. Okay. Okay, so with today being Monday, September 1st, it kicks off. And I am so grateful to have a platform like this to be able to reach a global market and be able to say, you know what? Hey, look, guys, life insurance is important. Let me educate you. Let me just bring some awareness to you. It's not just the life insurance agent that's trying to make a buck and sell you a life insurance policy. No, no, no. We want to help your family have peace of mind. So there is an organization, a nonprofit organization called Life Happens. And that's where you're going to probably see a lot of paraphernalia, a lot of social media information, and it will come from this particular organization. They were founded in 1994 by industry leaders who recognized the need to provide more people with educational information about life insurance and related products. You know, because in any industry, a lot of times a person, let's just say if I come to your house and you do or do not have life insurance, if you're there are some insurance agent that just want to go in there and just be hard and aggressive, and yes, you need this, and yes, we know everybody needs it, but at the same time, we've got to be empathetic, we've got to be compassionate, we've got to be able to meet their needs, not only the need for life insurance, but as it relates to their pocketbook as well. Okay. And so it also means that there are some agent partners. I know I do a lot of educating. I like to let people know the different types of insurance and let them know what to expect and educate them. So sometimes you need a neutral party like a nonprofit organization. And that's what Life Happens is all about. They're a neutral organization that has their biggest campaign of the year, and that is Life Insurance Awareness Month in the month of September, to remind Americans about the importance of life insurance for their financial security. It's a month when the industry comes together to share the message that getting life insurance is simple and affordable way to protect those who depend on you. Okay. But, you know, there is something that I do want to talk about at the end of today's show. And you've got to wait till the end, but it's something exciting that's also launching on today, September 1. And I'm really, really excited about it. But, in 2024, life happens. Just a little bit more information on the organization Life Happens, because that's all a part of National Life Insurance Awareness Month. And I want hey, check this out. Go on, type in your browser, Life Happens, or type in September 2025 National Life Awareness Month. And you can be able to get a lot of information, a lot of resources. And so this episode I'm not going to have all of the information in different types of resources, but I can tell you where you can get them yourself. Okay. Because I want you to be informed. I want you to be educated. I want you to realize how important this is, even if you don't think it is important. Now, it's safe to say that we know we're going to die. We just don't know when. We know the birth date, but after that dash, we do not know beyond a shadow of a doubt. Even if you've gotten, a horrible diagnosis from a doctor or a specialist, and they've given you 2 months to live, 6 months to live, they really don't know. They really don't know. God is in control of all of that. But with that said, we don't know when the day or hour is going to be. Okay. So by having a month like this to just kind of be in your face, to remind you. And so in 2024, Life Happens, the National Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors, and the Society of Financial Services Professionals. They unified as one organization. The expanded organization retains all three brands under the NAIFA organization. NAIFA. And you can look that up and get tons of information. Okay. And what it does, it leverages each organization's strengths to create a better impact for the industry, financial service professionals, and consumers. You listening to me and watching me on YouTube, you are a consumer. You might be a life insurance agent. You might be in the financial services arena. We want to be able to come together and say, hey, look, let's find a way to delicately and in your face remind people about the importance of life insurance and that it is a legacy, that this legacy is for your family. Your legacy is in your life insurance policy in so many different ways. It's all about family. It's all about who's going to be left behind. And so NIFA, the mission is to educate consumers. This organization doesn't sell anything. Okay. And that's why sometimes you do need a neutral arm. Now, granted, yes, I do sell life insurance. I sell supplemental health insurance. I sell household protection insurance. And I also sell insurance for small businesses to help them set up voluntary employee benefits program. Okay. I sell all of those. And yes, I would love for you to contact me if you're interested and want more information. You can reach out to me at reset to reinvent at gmail.com, reset to reinvent at gmail.com. But this message today is about you, to inform you. And so this, organization doesn't sell anything. They don't endorse any particular insurance company because there are hundreds of insurance companies out there. Life insurance, health insurance, but we're specifically talking about life insurance, okay? Oh my goodness, there are so many insurance companies out there. So this insurance company, this organization, this nonprofit organization that pulled together to be able to provide and educate for consumers. Oh no, they didn't come. They're not trying to sell you anything or endorse any particular company because, for the most part, most insurance companies are good companies. They're headed up by good people. Okay. So as a nonprofit, you can be assured that the information they provide about the importance of life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care insurance, and annuities is in a sound financial plan, is neutral and unbiased. And so I wanted to share that in this NAIFA. And then if you can't find it there, then look up Life Happens and you'll be able to find more and more information. But let me share some stats with you. 102 million American adults. 102 million American adults are in need of life insurance or more of it. 72% of people overestimate the cost of a life insurance policy. 72% of people overestimate the cost of a life insurance policy. No one really wants to even think about life insurance. But if someone depends on you financially, it's a topic you can't avoid. It's a topic you should not avoid. Getting life insurance doesn't have to be hard or it doesn't have to be boring. Now, I can tell you now, if you're interested in becoming a life insurance agent, you can, you can contact me and I can get you more information. There is an exam that you have to take so that you can be vetted and licensed as a professional to be able to serve the people. And it is a process, but it is so worth it. And it is a financially rewarding industry. It really is, as we celebrate National Life Insurance Awareness Month. And the fact of the matter is, there are some people who do go on websites and they'll answer the questions and they'll fill out a form and they'll fill out everything that's requested so that they can be able to get qualified, or underwritten is the term that we use, to get a life insurance policy. And then, but the thing about it, by doing that and over the internet, there's a lot of questions that aren't asked because you don't know the questions to ask. And there's a lot of questions that get unanswered until you actually get the policy. And then you're looking at it and then it looks like Greek. But if you have, and I highly recommend, sure, I'd love for you to call me. But folks, I would highly recommend you talking with someone face to face, or if necessary, over the telephone, a live person, not an online application, but talking with a live person so that they can be able to answer and educate. Okay, it's so important. Life insurance, getting a life insurance policy it's a legal document. I mean, we're asking for sensitive information. We need to know about your prescribed medications, any medical history of illnesses. We need to get your social. We need your address, all of those things that we need to be able to put this package together so that you've got a life insurance policy. Because at the end of the day, you want a real live, valid life insurance policy that you have paid for, that you're paying monthly premiums on, so that when you do die, not if, when you do die, your family will get the proceeds so that they can be able to have a wonderful, respectful, traditional funeral, or if you want to be cremated, either one. And that's what it's all about. That's very important. And so that's the assurance that we life insurance agents, we life insurance professionals, that is our desire, to make sure that you are clear what happens after you do buy insurance, life insurance policy. But the problem is, let's address the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room. Oh, life insurance is too expensive. It costs too much. I can't afford life insurance. Now, I'm not just saying that. I just gave you a stat that says 72% of people overestimate the cost of a life insurance policy. Have you ever done some research to find out how much it costs for a funeral? An average funeral is going to cost you between $10,000 and $15,000. So earlier when I mentioned, that, hey, look, you're being selfish if you don't get a life insurance policy on yourself. Think about it. Think about it. If you had, if your family members are left, having to pay the bill, do they have that kind of money to just put in the ground? That's essentially what they're doing. Especially if it's money that they're having to get from a savings account or their children's college fund. They're pulling it from another source versus that big bank account that I mentioned earlier that may be set aside. And more people than not do not have those type of resources to do that. Okay, that's just a fact. And so life insurance is not that expensive. Now, expensive is a relative term, because I bet if you were to do, let's just say, the month of September, you write down, you keep a log. How about this? For those of you who feel like life insurance is too much, you don't have the money in your budget. Keep in mind now, you don't know when you're going to die. So you keep putting it off. We insurance agents, we hear it all the time. You keep putting it off, and then you die. And then your family has to start a GoFundMe account. They have to go to their church. They have to ask the family members to chip in. Is that the legacy that you want to leave behind for your family? Is that the legacy that you want? That after you pass away. Now keep in mind, I mentioned those, there are some people who out there really are selfish. I mean, they have just flat out said to me, oh, they'll handle it. They can fend for themselves. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be dead. And I'm just looking at them like, OMG. Oh my goodness. So guys, when you think about the fact that, $10,000 to $15,000 for an average funeral, okay, and I want to be cremated, okay, cremations aren't as cheap as you think they are. And there's various ways that people have cremation ceremonies, and you can do more and more research on that. But let me just, okay, cremations, and we all know, to get cremated, you're just getting burnt up. Your body is being burnt, okay, and it becomes ashes. And the least expensive way to be cremated is, get your body burnt, and then the crematorial or the funeral home, they'll put it in some type of a container and hand it to you. And that's that. That may be, $1,000 or maybe less. But then there's some people that say, okay, I want my loved one, I want to be cremated, but I want to have a ceremony, maybe at the funeral home, okay, or they want to have the viewing the day before. Okay, you want to do that? Well, guess what? The body has to be embalmed. Okay, they've got to make you look appropriate so that when people come and pay their final respects, that's the way you want to make sure that you're looking. There's a cost for that, okay, to be embalmed, for all of that. And you got to rent the casket. Okay, you more than likely have to rent the use of the facility. Okay, so now all of those costs, they add up. Okay, and then the next day you may have a service. Okay, well, you want to, if it's going to be at a church or even at that funeral home, some people, they like to get the limousine and bring the family. Do you know there's a cost? There's a cost for everything associated with having a funeral or a cremation, and it can add up. Either way, if it's $1 or if it's $15,000, the bottom line is, do you really want to leave a legacy of despair and disappointment in your family's eyes, in their mindset, in their mind forever and ever, amen, after you die? Because you were too selfish to get a life insurance policy. I'm just saying. Okay. So if anyone depends on your income, they're more than likely going to suffer financially in some kind of way. Okay. So that's why life insurance is so important to have, why it is worth it. There's so many different types of life insurance policy, but essentially they all pay cash to your loved ones, okay, when you die. Not if you die, when you die. Money from life insurance can be used to cover daily living expenses, mortgage, rent payments, your light bill, outstanding loans, college tuition, and other essential expenses. Because a lot of people think, oh yeah, well, the funeral is not going to be that expensive. Now, when I said $10,000 to $15,000, that's for the funeral. But the family that passed away, the family member that passed away, guess what? They if they were living in a house and paying mortgage and paying the electricity bill and the water bill and et cetera, do you think those bills are going to stop just because they're gone? That's a part of what life insurance is all about. Okay, so it covers the immediate expenses, which is deals with the funeral, but then the ongoing expenses. It helps you there's different types of policies where you can get $100,000, 200,000, 300, half a million, million, multi-millions, and you can get with financial advisors and or life insurance agents to be able to show you what all can be available. And that's why it's so important for us to educate and sit down with you and let you know what your options are. And it connects with how much you can afford. So going back, let's use the month of September. Some of you probably thought I forgot. I've circled back. Okay. The month of September. I want you to write down everything, not necessarily your recurring, like your mortgage and light bill and credit cards. Not that. I'm talking about the extra stuff that you may just spend money on in the course of the day. That stop by a Starbucks coffee, or that run by the store because you got an event to go to this weekend and you want to wear something new. Just add. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to show you that you have more money than you think you have, and that you can afford life insurance. Now, can you afford maybe $100,000 worth of coverage, and it may be $100 a month? Maybe not, but maybe you can start with 50,000. That might be $70 a month, and that might be a little bit more comfortable, and then you can add some a little bit later. So I strategize with people like that all of the time. Okay, so you do need life insurance. Okay, can we agree on that you do need life insurance? Okay, and so as we continue to celebrate National Life Insurance Awareness Month, I want you to realize that you matter. Your family matters. Your children matter. Your spouse matters. Do you want to have a legacy that will make your family proud that you handle your business, so that they're already going to be devastated when you die? They're going to be devastated when you die. They're not going to be thinking straight. It's just going to be a horrible, horrible time. All of you listening or watching me, you've had a loss. You know what it's like. And some of you probably are nodding your head saying, you know what? Yeah, I have been in a situation where a family member did not have life insurance, and we did have to scurry to find the money that we needed. Because check this out, the funeral homes, they're not going to do it for free. I mean, they got to eat and pay and take care of their families just like anybody else that has a job or a business. Come on now. Let's be fair. Okay? So I want you to just think about the fact that life insurance is not a prophetic message that, oh, if I get a policy on a loved one, or especially, heaven forbid, my child or grandchild, that I'm just sending doom and gloom and saying they're getting ready to die. And yes, we life insurance agents, we've heard that too. No. What you're doing is saying, you know what? You matter. I care about you. I don't want to be a burden, a financial burden on you and you and you when I die. And that's why legacy is in your life insurance policy. Okay. This month of September, I want you to, just track all of those extra dollars. And at the end of the month, if you see that you have spent 200, 300, extra, not your regular bills, extra, then you can be able to say, you know what? Maybe I can pull some money aside so that I can be able to put a policy on myself and maybe a policy on another loved one. Okay. September is National Life Insurance Awareness Month, and I'm excited about it. I also want to mention that, there are, oh my goodness, there are so many people. I already gave you the stats. There are millions of people who are either insured or underinsured. Okay. And there are more of those than we have agents that can service them. So we need more life insurance agents all over the globe. Okay, we really do. We really do. And let me say, for those of you saying, well, I got life insurance on my job. Okay, that is fantastic, but it's not enough. Okay, life insurance on your job, it may be there one day and it may be gone. Companies close up and close their doors and downsize and right size without any warning. If that's the only insurance that you've got, think about it. And you've got this great policy at your job, and then you go in on Monday morning and the doors are closed. That means everything else is cut off too. And then the next day you die, or the next week you die. Now, I know this sounds harsh, but this is reality stuff, guys. That's why you need to have your own policy that you know that you're paying the premium on every month. So that's your guarantee that you know that you are covered and that your family is going to have peace of mind. That's the bottom line. Peace of mind is what life insurance provides. Peace of mind is what life insurance provides. Peace of mind for your family. Don't they deserve it? They really, really do. So you know what? As we wrap up this discussion about life insurance awareness, make sure that you go on, Google Life Happens so that you can get a lot of information, a lot more stats. Look up, maybe you've had a life insurance agent who have reached out to you before. Reach back out to them and say, hey, look, you know what? I just heard this lady talking about life insurance. Come and see me. We need to talk. Okay. If it's someone that I've talked to that you're still kind of on the fence, hey, come and reach out to me. No hard feelings. I got much love for you because I know it's all about timing and checking out your coins. I get that. But the bottom line is funerals are expensive. And most people do not have that kind of money, $10,000 to $15,000 in there, just tucked away to just be put in the ground on any given day. Okay, so let's not be selfish. Let's get a life insurance policy on ourselves, put one on a loved one so that everybody is protected for that peace of mind. Okay, all right. So before we finish up today's episode 24, Reset to Reinvent, I promise you that I had a big announcement that I wanted to share. Now, I'm so excited. Many of you may know or may not know that, I have taught on a college level at several different colleges over the years since 1991, since I've started in business for myself. And I love to teach, as you can tell, even on this podcast. I love to share information, and that's why I love the insurance, because I can teach, I can educate, I can share information. So it doesn't matter if I'm talking with one person or a group of individuals. I love to teach. South Carolina State University, I remember getting an opportunity to teach a semester. It may have been 2 semesters. And it was in their business department. And I remember distinctly, it was a woman named Dr. Lucy Rubin, who was the dean of the School of Business at South Carolina State University. This was back in the early 2000s. Okay. And she and I met at a conference in Columbia. And I was on the panel to talk about, it was dealing with business. It was a business related conference. She came up to me and she says, I would love to be able to have you teach a course to my students. She said, I love your energy. I love your positivity, and your knowledge would just be just a bright light for our students. And I live in Augusta. Orangeburg is like an hour and a half. And I think it was 2 or 3 days a week that for a semester, it may have been 2 semesters, I drove back and forth, and I was able to develop the curriculum. It was dealing with leadership and business. It was great. I also got a chance to teach at Midlands Community College in Columbia. I taught a semester at Payne College here in Augusta, and that was so much fun. And that was dealing dealing with media and radio because I had a talk radio show at the time. So the students got a chance to have the experience, firsthand experience in the radio station. That was just so much fun. And I was also an adjunct instructor at Virginia College, which is now no longer in business, but I taught there for almost 2 years. So I love teaching, I love sharing, and I love making an impact on somebody's life. Hey, that's what I'm doing here on this podcast as well. So remember, not too long ago, I shared with you about me attending, along with my team, the podcast summit in Atlanta, right? Okay. And you also probably remember that my sister-in-law, Janie, in Santa Monica, she is the first person who introduced me to the whole, the industry of podcasting and all of the different intricacies of podcasting. And that started several years ago. And so I've been exposed to a lot of different ideas and concepts as it relates to podcasting and other things that complement podcasts to make them more successful, to impact more people. And so one thing about me, whatever I do, it has to mean something. It has to have some value. It has to fit with my value. It has to be fun. Life is just too short to not have fun doing what you love. Okay. And I've always been like that. And it has to make a difference in someone's life. So I was introduced to a concept called school, SKOOL, school community. And it's an online platform that allows creators to engage. It allows them to provide online courses that's available for the members, ebooks, and it's an entrepreneurial business model that can complement podcasters like myself, and it can financially benefit you and your family. So at the summit, there were several speakers. One of them, Brooklyn billionaire. Okay, this young sister girl, she was amazing. I think she's probably in her 30s, and she is killing it in the school community space. And Brendan Boyd, who I got a chance to meet and spend time with and listen to him in his session. They both talked extensively about this school community, SKOOL. And I'm like, okay, let me check this out. So fast forward. So over the past few weeks, I have been, looking at other school communities and putting together. I have long had an idea or a an idea, yeah, of starting a university or an academy where I can be able to educate. And so, I'm thinking, over the years, that's a cost. And, what about having a standalone place that's going to be a cost, and the money's just, wasn't available. So it's just been an idea in my head. So this school community, guys, gives me all of that in a online presence. Because everything is online. You're on your phone and you're online. You're on your laptop, you're online. You're on your desktop, you're online. Everything is so mobile, and it just makes sense. And this school community is an online platform that gives me an opportunity to be able to pull everything that's about me, everything that's about Helen, tie in the podcast. I'll be able to put my podcasts on there as an area for it, in case you missed it, in case you haven't subscribed, where you can be able to get it there. It's just so much. It's just so much. So what I want to do is just let you know, as you can tell, and I'm really, really, really stoked about it. Today, I am launching HBA Academy. HBA Academy is a highly engaging, just like I am, educational, inspirational, motivational, community-based platform primarily for women and entrepreneurs, just like this podcast is. Okay. And you can find the link if you go into footer of my podcast here on YouTube, or you can find the link on my social media. I've already put it there. You can go in there and click, or if that's just too much trouble, shoot me an email to reset2reinvent@gmail.com so that you can get the information. Now it's going to be a monthly platform, $28 a month, where you're going to have access to a lot of stuff, a lot. Right now, I've got 18 ebooks and or online courses that are related to business, entrepreneurship, personal development. Oh my goodness, I've spent hours and hours and hours developing this and finding these type of courses and then putting it all together. It's the HBA Academy. Okay, I've got a free trial. There's a free trial when you click on the link, so you can go in there and just kind of play with it and see if, hey, do you want to make that investment? But I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So that HBA Academy is launching today on the first day of September National Awareness, Life Insurance Awareness Month. So guys, listen, that's all I've got for today. You'll be hearing more and more about HBA Academy, but I just want to let you know this is all a part of me, and it's all a part of me being able to share. And there's going to be, some really cool things in this community that I'm not going to share it right now. I'm just going to maybe wait until next week. But if you go on there right now and just click and you see what it's all about and go to the about page, then you're going to see what this is all about. And this is going to be life changing. And this is the 21st century model of having an educational entity, like I've been wanting to do for a long time. So guys, that's all I've got today for this episode 24 of Reset to Reinvent. You guys have been absolutely amazing. If you don't have a life insurance policy, get yourself a life insurance policy. Call an insurance agent, talk with them, get the questions asked and get the questions answered so that you can be able to take care and leave a legacy for you and your family. And I want to thank you again for joining me today. And you know why? Because you deserve to be inspired. Until next time, peace.
Reset to Reinvent podcast. We are living in uncertain times. Job security is becoming more elusive. People are losing their jobs. Companies are closing. But wait, have you ever considered a career as an insurance agent? Just a thought. Our much talked about ebook, 8 Reasons to Become a Life Insurance Agent, can help you decide if it's for you or not. Order your copy today. Visit our website, reset to reinvent